Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. So today's video, we are going to epoxy a tumbler. Um, all my, I want to say everything that I got did come from Michael's, except for my little cups, which I get from the Dollar Tree. They do not have measurements on them. I just eyeball it. Probably not the best idea. It's probably better to have little cups that do have measurements on it. That way you're mixing your part A, your part B evenly. So this is my very first tutorial video. So it's probably not going to be perfect. I might make mistakes. There might be some flaws, but it does work for me. And this is just a general idea on how to do it. So if that does interest you, please stay tuned to the video. Now let's get to it. All right, you guys. So we're going to start with epoxying. And one thing I will say, if you're very new to doing epoxy and all of that stuff, make sure you wear your gloves. I should be wearing a mask or some type of ventilation thing on my face, but I don't have one. So I have to make do with what I got. But always make sure you wear your gloves because this stuff is just a little bit too hard to get off your hands. So, but we are just going to mix up some epoxy, and this is my first tutorial video. So it's not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make some types of mistakes, and I will learn from those from there. Now, this cup, as you can see, says Birthday Baddie on it. It is for one of my best friends who has just came down into town to celebrate her birthday with all of us. She's from Louisiana. So shout out to Jazzy. Happy birthday, baby. I love you so much. Thank you for coming and spending the weekend with me. And yeah, so what we're going to do, I do not have cups that measure. I got these from the Dollar Tree. Oh, excuse me, the $1.25 Tree. So they don't have they're like little condiment containers. So they work out perfectly fine for me. I kind of just eyeball it, but they are measuring cups, little plastic ones that do have like numbers and stuff on it as far as levels, but I do not have those. So I'm just going to eyeball. So I have part B here, and we are using Amazing Clear Cast. So you're gonna have to do 1 and 1. And I usually just fill it up to the line because that's just what helps me measure. So that way I know, but I might do a little more because this cup is a little big. Cup is a little big. That's okay. We got part B. Part B is a bit thicker than part A. So this one might pour out a little faster. Oh, excuse me, that's the other way around. So I kind of just eyeball it, which I usually do pretty good with. So yeah, got that. I kind of just turn it so that way I'm not dripping, but drippage will happen. Let's get a popsicle stick. And what I do is got my 2 parts here. Trying to think if I can, yeah, I can move you guys down so you can see. Excuse my craft table. It's a little bit of a what the fuck just happened? What just happened? My craft table is a bit of a mess, but that's okay. So I usually pour the one that moves faster into the one that's a little thicker. But I think I have more in part A than I do part B. So I'm gonna pour a little more in part A. And all the more reasons why you should probably have one that measures, so that way you're not putting too much of one into one. So what we're gonna do is just dump that. That was bad. We're just gonna dump this in here. Now I will prop that up like so, just so you can see it's propped up on the bottle. And yeah, wait for that to dump out most of it. And then I'll go in with the popsicle stick and kind of take off the rest that's stuck to the edges of the little cup container there. Now this already has one coat of epoxy on it already. I just need it to be one more so that way I can finish this off. I've already done this step, but it's kind of what I do to make sure I get good coverage so that the epoxy doesn't lift over time. And she was super sad that she cannot have this cup for her birthday, because if I thought about it, I probably should have started it before she got down here, but I didn't know she was gonna come stay with me. Otherwise I would have been with it. Just making sure I'm getting everything off. And I think this sanding block is 120 grit. And I'm just trying to get some of this stuff off the edge, so that way I can get the epoxy to adhere better to it. It's already hot. I have the heater on already, which I probably should have put on after the fact, but that's all right. So we just want to make sure we're exposing some of the some of the metal on the cup. And then rinse it off, or if you have alcohol or something to clean it off, that way you're not getting none of the dust particles stuck on there when you epoxy. That's good. So yeah, we're just gonna get all this stuff out, even though we're gonna do a clean sweep of the inside after we're all the way completed. Again, like I said, this is not a perfect tutorial. It's not meant to be. I am very new with trying to do tutorials. So, again, it's a work in progress. So if you have any tricks and stuff that you want to show me, please feel free. I will accept it. Perfectly fine with it. Right, I think I got most of that off there. So what I'm going to do is go rinse off. Matter of fact, no. I'm going to get a paper towel and put some water on it and wipe off around the edges. Be right back, y'all. Excuse me. Paper towel here. Should have got the dry paper towel as well. That was silly of me. Towel. just a dry paper towel, just wiping off anything extra off of it. And I think this cup is just so adorable, like it really is. So now we got that straightened. Get the popsicle stick. And my workspace is a bit of a mess, but like I said from the beginning, this was not going to be a perfect thing. I am just trying to do what I do. Just gonna take out the rest of this. Every little bit counts. This stuff is surely expensive. And I get my amazing clear cast from either Micheal's or Amazon. But I probably need to buy like the jugs so it lasts longer, because a cup can take about maybe 3 or 4 rounds of epoxy depending on what you're doing. So throw that one in the trash, and then we just mix this. You will get bubbles and stuff like that. Now there are people that will wait until this is all the way clear and full of bubbles, but I have not been that person since I go over my cups with the heat gun. So again, we're just gonna mix this. And on the thing it says mix for about 3 minutes in total. Like I said, this stuff is messy. So if you're expecting the clean workspace, it might not happen. And I probably should have cleaned my workstation before I started, but that's all right. Mixing, 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 mixing. Mixing, mixing. Just keep mixing, just keep mixing. As you can see, there are still bubbles and stuff in here, and we don't want that, so we're gonna just continue to keep stirring away. I probably should have waited to turn that heater on because I'm hot. Now, I clearly have zero patience, but for the sake of the video, we are gonna wait until it is a bit clearer. As you can see, I have a bunch of bubbles. Now, I've seen some people use a torch to get in there to pop the bubbles, but the bubbles will automatically pop on their own. And I wish I can show you guys, because there are some bubbles in there, but they are popping. Now, some people just keep stirring until it's clear, completely clear. But, you know, like I said, I am very impatient. And right after this video, I am going to be starting a whole nother cup. And I'm so excited about it because I actually am going to do a full process from after the cup is completely prepped. Like I said, so we have part A and part B in this condiment container, and we're just stirring it up until it's completely clear. It doesn't have many bubbles. Now the cup idea came from the individual, obviously, that wants the cup. It wasn't necessarily my choice as far as lettering. The only thing that I did was add the white offset to the happy birthday or birthday baddie. That's that. Now it's still a bit foggy, but I have been stirring for quite some time, and my hand hurts. Your hands will definitely hurt, so I mean, comes with the territory. Now I want to make sure I have this there. That's not the right one. I need to find a turner that is a lot bigger than mine. I'm trying not to get in my frame. And I love these two colors together, pink and silver. I love it. But like I said, for the sake of the video, and plus I want her to have this. She will be leaving in a few days, and I want her to have it. So I am going to put the epoxy. That's not, there's still bubbles. Mind you, like I said, you're supposed to stir it until it's clear. But it being clear or not never really affects anything from what I've seen. So, plus, you won't even be able to notice anyway, but, so this is part A. Part B, epoxy. What we're going to do is pour the epoxy on the cup and let this dry for a couple of hours. That way I can make sure she has this before she leaves. So what we're gonna do, slightly tip the epoxy over the cup with my hand, my finger here, and it's pushing the epoxy around. Okay. My turners are a bit old, so please don't mind it. Just gonna keep doing that. And I probably could have mixed more epoxy since this cup, I don't usually work with bigger cups, but this should fill the entire cup, by the way. Just making sure I got it around the rim. Like I said, this is like my third coat of epoxy, but I can still feel the vinyl, and I don't want that. like I said, I am going to use this whole thing just because I want to make sure it's fully covered. And then we'll leave this be. Let it spin to dry. And I am messy. I wish I wasn't, but you know, I'm not perfect. I ain't trying to be either, so if you want perfect, it might not be the spot for you. But I'll get better, I know it. I'm just hoping I don't need another coat of epoxy, because that would just make me so sad. It looks like we're fully covered here, though. Right? Looks that way. All right. And that's completely covered. So we gotta sit and let this dry. It's going to take more than likely 24 hours, but I will check on it in a few hours. And that actually concludes our video. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how I epoxy. But like I said, I do use a heat gun. Now I can't see bubbles with glitter. I am trying to look very closely, but I still don't see any. Alright. Now I feel like I've touched every piece of that with heat. I do have my heater on, so it probably will heat up in this living room shortly. With it's already heated up in here, so I will let this sit for a little bit, let it spin for maybe an hour or two, and then I will turn off the turner and then let it continue to dry. But again, so ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our well, at least how I epoxy my cups. So if this video did interest you, please don't forget to subscribe, press that like button, and leave a comment down below if you didn't like it, or if you liked it. If you have comments, if you have questions, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know what it is. If you think that there is a better way for me to do this, please don't feel bad. Just put it down below. Let me know. Let me hear you. I am always looking for new ways to do certain things, so that is always a plus for me. Please just don't forget to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it.